I'm Dr. Rajani, and I'm pleased to introduce you to my revolutionary LED RajaniMD facial mask. Now, this is something I have in my clinic for my patients. Like everything I use myself, my patients use it, and I'm excited to make it available to everyone. But you're going to say, what the heck is this? Why is there extra LEDs along the mouth? Why is the LED pattern the way it is around the eyes? Well, for my patients, the number one thing they're coming in asking me about is the jowls, the jowling, the sag here, the submentum, or the area underneath the chin that's lax. And I just didn't find an LED mask that met the requirements that tightened the submentum. So I developed a patent and a trademark, and I created it. And you'll see how it works in a moment. The other thing is vertical lip lines. No matter how much glow, cheek, or lip filler you have, the vertical lip lines, the lines above the lip, are troublesome in their aging feature, and they bother people. And so many people don't want to have fillers. They want to use more natural methods, and LED light fits that bill. You'll notice an extra LED above the lip with my Apex Glow technology. What about the pattern underneath the eyes? Well, the eye is one of the first areas to age myself and my patients, and you might agree with that. So why not do it with LED therapy? So around the eyes, you'll notice another extra LED for this troublesome area with my Apex Glow technology. Those are all areas where fillers, if you happen to be getting them, don't work great. We don't like to fill underneath the eye. Lip fillers can look untoward, they can look ducky and unsightly and unnatural. And of course, we can fill along the jawline, but the submentum, if we can prevent facial fat pad sag, loss, and hypertrophy, if we can keep the fat pads healthy in the lower part of the face, we're very good with minimally invasive and even with skincare for the upper face. So this solved those problems, but I didn't stop there. I developed a technology whereby, well, if you think of lasers, lasers are a single beam of light. For LED, I want this to cover your whole face, not just those areas. So when this mask lights up, you'll see my glow technology so that the beam of light spreads out like a cone and comes to a vertex, a point at the LED bulb. What this does, it allows for perfect penetration of red light, which you all know is more superficial for the surface, infrared light, which is great for the deeper layers and your well-being. And I even included blue light. Why? Because light reflection is key. And when you get poor light reflection, no matter what, your skin will look dull. And blue light attacks bacteria and attacks blemishes. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, you might think, well, that's a great case for that LED mask, Dr. Rajani. Well, the intensity of the bulbs are perfect. It's easy to use. It has the perfect amount of energy, and you can do things. You know, I'm a multitasker. I can't sit still. I'm pretty much always working. And if I'm not working, I want to be watching and learning. And you can see through this mask. So 10 minutes a day, 3 times a week. It's that easy. Now, why flexible? Of course, it allows us to get to the chin area and to really strap that up and tighten the under chin area. But the other reason is, well, let's not forget about the neck, the top of the knees. We know how those age, the arms, loose arm skin. And with a flexible mask, I'm able to put that on the arms, on the décolleté, on the neck region. What about the belly, the abdomen? We don't want to forget about that. Being flexible, it's easy to travel with. Now, you'll know if you have my skincare that I like good packaging. So you're going to enjoy the packaging. It does come in a box like this, but you can see I'm traveling now. I'm able to bring the box, and everything you need is in here. However, you don't need to travel with a big box like that because it is flexible like this. So that's one of the benefits of the flexibility. Of course, being flexible, that's the best way to get this snug to all parts of your face. I did not want to use a rigid mask because the intensity of the bulbs are lowest exactly where you want them the highest. So the strap mechanism is designed for a perfect fit every time. Now you'll notice there is a cord here, but it's rechargeable and it will last you for 2 to 3 weeks if you're using it 3 or 4 times a week. What about fat pad loss? Well, LED technology has thousands of studies backing it up, especially in the wavelengths I'm using here. Remember that LED doesn't produce heat, and I have many videos on maintaining the fat pads in the face. I think that's the holy grail of youth. So there's no heat from this, but most importantly, in my clinic, I use 3D facial imaging, of course, feedback from my patients, and of course, it's something I'm using. So I want fat pads to improve, and LED technology does many great things, and it does not harm the fat pads. In fact, there's great evidence that it helps regulate your fat pads towards more youth. And there's something called dysregulation of facial fat. There's healthy fat and there's unhealthy fat. And infrared gets deeper than the red light. Remember, both are in here. And that deeper infrared light, there's evidence, good evidence, that it's helping your fat pads. What do I see in clinical practice? This is the most important thing to me. I like studies. I like safety data. We have that. In clinic, patients are looking younger. 3D imaging is showing younger, more youthful look. And that's on people just using the LED without fillers. I have patients that only use skincare and LED. I have patients who get fillers, and I have patients who get facelifts and surgery. So I have them all. And when I follow up the imaging, the results are ubiquitous across the board. People look younger from LED. And I can tell you, I have never seen fat pad loss. Of course, I've been doing this over 25 years in the industry, and I have over 10,000 patients in my practice. That doesn't include my skincare and all of you online that give me great information and feedback. I'm excited to offer this to all of you. And of course, this, along with my skincare, you'll find at store.RajaniMD.com. And am I worried that something like this is going to kill my practice because people aren't coming in for procedures, more invasive treatments? Well, not at all. The more you can do at home with your skincare, with your prevention, with your diet and your exercise and your healthy eating, the better it is. And the better all of my procedures in clinic looks, and that makes me look better. So the more you do at home, I'm all for it. You want to do it safely. Should you use skincare before using the mask? No, you cleanse, you use the mask, and then you apply skincare. Now, if you want some guidance on your skincare, I have a whole site called QuizMD. Go to quizmd.com. You put in a few of your personal parameters, and it will give you an answer on exactly the best skincare and skincare routine for you that you can then use something like this at-home LED mask to keep yourself from having to get any invasive procedures and keep your skin and body healthy. You're now going to want to watch this video on retinol tightening pads, how you take your retinols to the next level, and this one on other ways to keep your facial fat happy, healthy, vibrant, and glowing. Stay tuned here. Make it a great one.